Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. My name is Alison, certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with busy professional women to help them be found by the partners that they deserve. I am not supposed to be on live right now. If my trainer catches me on live, he is going to be mad. I am supposed to be in the gym right now. However, I am so inundated with work right now. I'm working on slides for my masterclass, my Dating 101 masterclass, which is going to be hosted on December the 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern. All you have to do is click the link in my bio in order to register. I'm inundated with slides. I have to hop on live to talk to y'all. I got to pick up my baby. I got to order some clothes for a shoot that I'm doing. What else is on my list? I have a session today at 6:30, my final session with the group. So I have a lot going on and I'm not supposed to be here. However, how could I not be of service to all of you? So there's a very interesting title that I have for today's live, which is your second biggest, and let me retype it so it can be pinned at the bottom, because Instagram lets you put titles on the top, but it's not really helpful. Your second biggest dating. Isis, why do you say you're surprised that I'm live? Dating block, second biggest. Okay. Let me pin that. Actually, no. I'm sorry. We gotta change that. Your second biggest dating block. Click, here we go, click the link in my bio for access to the Dating 101 masterclass. Here we go, because then people are going to ask me, and then the answer is going to be right there, pinned at the bottom. Okay, so the title of this live, the purpose of this live, what we're talking about today is your second biggest dating block. And you might be thinking, Alison, that's so strange, because if you know anything about Instagram, the algorithm and helping your video get views, if you're into that kind of stuff, you never put like the second biggest. You normally put like the number one or the top three. But I already went through your biggest dating block on Sunday. I already went through it on Sunday, 2 days ago, and it's still on my page. You'll see me, I'm driving in a car. It's a 15-20 minute live. It's a little bit shaky. I apologize, but I had the time and I was going to use the time in order to speak to you guys. So I already covered what your biggest dating block already is. So number one. Now I could have lied and just put this is your number one, but then that'd make me a liar. I'm not cool. That's not cool. So we're going to go with the truth, which is your second biggest dating block. Hello, everyone who is joining the live. My name is Alison, certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with single, busy professional women to help them be found by the partners that they deserve. I am hosting a Dating 101 masterclass, super affordable, $19 US. If you are serious about getting your love life in order, $19 is a joke. So what you're going to do is click the link in my bio. You're going to register for the masterclass. It is live on December the 14th on Zoom from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. If you cannot make it, you will receive the recordings within 24 hours for free. I'm not even going to upsell you. You paid your $19. If you can't make it live, don't worry. Everyone is going to get the recordings. So on Sunday, I spoke about what your biggest dating block is, which is your lack of belief. I don't want to go into it long because I got plenty of work to do. So I don't want to check out that video. It's right there on my page and it's on my YouTube channel. Okay, it's the most recent video up on my YouTube. We're talking about today, very briefly, your second biggest dating block, which I will go to at length in the Dating 101 masterclass. Click the link in my bio, live December the 14th. Your second biggest dating block. Are y'all ready? Your second biggest dating block. Again, it's not these dudes out here in these streets. It's not these ladies out here in these streets. It's something that you are doing, which is, drum roll please, holding other people accountable for what somebody else did. Holding other people accountable for what somebody else did. What does that look like? So we're not talking about relationships. We're talking about dating blocks. So when you are still holding on to an issue, a conflict, a problem that you encountered with your ex, when you are still holding on to that, you then hold other people accountable. So what does that do? It makes you not pursue dating effectively. It makes you not pursue dating effectively. Why is that? If you are holding someone accountable, the new person, the new guy, the new girl, the new potential, if you are holding someone else accountable for what the last person did, you are already going into the dating scene with mistrust. You are already going into the dating scene with closed eyes and closed mind and a closed heart. You are already going into the dating scene believing that these ain't ish anyway, so I'ma go because I know I gotta go outside. I'm gonna get on the apps because I know I have to get on the apps. But I'm not truly giving people a brand new chance, a fresh start, because I'm holding what the last person did accountable for what a stranger has not proven to do. Not only is that unfair, but it's disingenuous. Why? It's disingenuous because if you are not going on to the dating scene with the belief that this person should not be held accountable for what somebody else did, then that means that you are not giving them your all. What do I mean by your all? I'm not talking about all your money. I'm not talking about all your time. I'm not talking about all your effort. That's unreasonable. When I say you're all in dating, what I mean is you're picking up the phone when they call you. You're responding to text messages as soon as you are available. You are accepting a date if you can actually go. You are showing up on time. You are being pleasant, and you are giving them the benefit of the doubt because they never did anything to you. If you are not giving it your all in the dating process, then you are being disingenuous. You are wasting your time and you are wasting that person's time, and it's not fair. Now, I have a little tidbit for y'all. Ladies, you are not the only ones who do this. So this is not a beat up on the women day because they were cheated on in the past. They were heartbroken in the past, and now every guy ain't ish. The ladies are not the only ones who are guilty of this. And I actually would propose that most behaviors that we categorize as the guys do this and the girls do that is actually universal. And we all, and not every single human being, but we all, both men and women, do this. Men absolutely hold women accountable for the mistakes that another woman made. And actually what's quite annoying is they tend to hold new women accountable for the mistake that somebody made when they were in the 5th grade. A girl broke their heart in the 7th grade, and now it's F these females and da 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 da. So the women aren't the only ones who are guilty of holding new people accountable for what they did not do. The gentlemen are as well. We are. And this is why we have to end the gender wars, because we're not realizing that there are people, there are representatives on all sides, both sides, that are guilty of doing the same things. Let me give you an example. There's a lot of conversation about women being shallow, right? Women are shallow. We're only looking at height. We're only looking at salary. Men, generally speaking, have been known to also be shallow, looking at a woman's physique, deciding whether or not she's worthy enough to talk to, all right? Women are notorious for complaining in social media and society about fat shaming. However, don't have any problem with height shaming, right? This is not something that's exclusive for women. This is not something that's exclusive for men. This is a human experience. When you are afraid of an outcome that can potentially be painful to you, you are going to be more mindful of how you move. That's logic. Anyone with any sense should do that, right? If you have been in a car accident before because you were speeding, every time you drive thereafter, you should not speed. And that's a reasonable response. However, what's an unreasonable response in that particular example is never driving again because you got into that car accident. Y'all with me? I'm going to say this again. It is logical if someone was speeding They got into an accident. Moving forward, because they were hurt before, they should not speed. That is reasonable. What is unreasonable is to never drive again because you got into that car accident. And that's what many of us are doing, both men and women. Many of us are being extreme in our responses to an experience that we had that was undesirable. We're being extreme. Someone broke your heart once, I'm never going to date again. Or I'm only going to give half of myself. I'm only going to use guys for money. I'm only going to use women for their body because you were heartbroken back in 7th grade. It's ridiculous. Or even if you were heartbroken 2 years ago, that is ridiculous. That is an illogical response to the problem. A logical response to the problem. So we talked about one of the biggest dating blocks. If you're just coming in, welcome. One of the biggest dating blocks is that we, both men and women, are being disingenuous in our dating process because we are afraid that we're going to be hurt again. We are holding new people accountable for wounds that they did not bear. Right? That's the biggest dating, second biggest. We did the first biggest on Sunday. Second biggest is what we're talking about right now. Right? Now, what's the resolution? Because y'all know me. I'm not coming on here for clickbait. I'm not coming on here to rile y'all up. We're talking about the problem. We have to outline the problem. We have to describe the problem. We have to make the problem clear so then we can then talk about the resolution. What are the next steps? How are we going to be able to move forward so that we can avoid this problem again? So what is the resolution? Are y'all ready? Y'all ready? We're ready for a resolution. How are we not going to hold the new person accountable for what the other person did? This is going to blow your mind. You have to let go. You have to let go. Now, anyone who's reasonable on this live, probably like 1,000 people are going to see this. They're going to say, well, Alison, that sounds easy. How do I let go? Right? I'm going to give you one tip on how to let go. And then if you want to hear the 5 dating blocks that you are receiving and how to resolve it, you have to join me in the Dating 101 Masterclass, which is on December the 14th, live on Zoom from 7 to 9 p.m. If you're unable to make it live, you will receive the recordings for free. I'm not going to upcharge you within 24 hours. So how do you let go? I'm going to give you, you know what? I'm going to give you two ways that you're going to let go. Okay. Now, this is not even talking about you loving on the ex, you wanting the ex back. The letting go is not of the person. The letting go is of the pain. I'm assuming that you've already let go of the person. If you haven't, you're going to click. Actually, you can DM me the words move on and I'll send you a link on how to move on from the person. But presuming that you already moved on from the person, how do you move on from the pain? I'm going to give you 2. Number 1, how do you move on from the pain? You need to accept the fact that this person did what they did because of who they are and not because of who you are. This person did what they did not because of who you are, but because of who they are. So if we take cheating, for example, there was nothing differently that you could have done to stop that person from cheating. I promise you. You could have given them more sex. You could have given them sex faster. You could have given them more sexy sex. There's nothing that you could have done differently. You need to accept that. There is nothing. Now you can go through, get a notebook, get pens, write down how could I have changed this outcome? And write down the list. Write it down. Maybe if I gave him more sex. Maybe if I was willing to do a threesome. Maybe if, right, and go through all the things that you think that you could have potentially, maybe if I would have been home more often and not worked as many hours. Go through the list. Or maybe if I was more affectionate, maybe if I hugged and kissed her. Write down a list if you want to and go through all the things that you potentially could have done. And then on that same piece of paper, I want you to write down how that may have not made a difference. Okay? So let's go through it together. Let's practice. Let's role play, right? If you're in my coaching program, we do role plays. Let's role play this. So let's say I had an ex who cheated on me and I'm thinking that, maybe if I would have done the threesome, then number 1, I would have had control over the act. The other person would have been here. It's not cheating if I'm an active participant. So maybe I'm going to write down, maybe if I would have done the threesome that he asked, then he would not have cheated on me. Okay, right? I want you to make like a T-chart. You're going to put what you think you could have done differently on the left. On the right, we're going to counter that argument. You ready for the counter? The counter is, How many couples have I heard from or about who have done threesomes and the other person still goes behind their committed partner's back and has sex with that other person as well as other people? So clearly a threesome is not the resolution that's going to stop my partner from cheating or being intimate with others, because I have heard from plenty of sources that having a threesome actually complicates your situation, and many times these people still go behind their partner's back and is intimate with that third person anyway. You get what I'm saying? So if there is anything that you believe that you are at fault, it's your reason why this person violated the trust, it's your fault why they did what they did, write it down. I want you, go ahead. Let's get this logical. Let's get this reasonable, right? Write down your list. And then I bet you money you can come up with a counter argument as to why whatever you are thinking is what you deserved and why this is your fault. I bet you money you can come up with a counter argument to that. Does that make sense? Y'all with me, right? So how can we move on? How can we let the pain go? Is by accepting the fact that you did not do something to deserve the violation that you experience in this relationship. Ergo, it's their problem, not yours. How can you hold on to baggage that's not your own? They're the ones who can't control themselves. They're the ones who communicate poorly. They're the ones who don't know how to end a relationship that's not serving them so that they can move on, not you. So as soon as you accept that it's not a fault of your own, it's a character fault of theirs to be liars, to be cheaters, to be deceivers, to be heartbreakers. That's a whole song. I ain't gonna get into it right now because I actually gotta go. You get what I'm saying? As soon as you accept that, then you will be able to let go of the baggage, because you will realize the baggage is not yours, it's theirs. The baggage is not yours, it's theirs. So then you won't be holding on to it to then hold someone else accountable and then not be showing up as the best version of yourself in your dating experience, and then you're surprised why it doesn't work out well. If I go to work and I don't show up as the best version of me, how can I get results? If I am a surgeon and I'm going in there with the belief that the patient's gonna die anyway, with the belief that I don't really have the skill set to fix their heart, to fix their foot, to fix their brain, to carve out the cancer, to set their arm in the cast, I don't believe it's gonna work. That was biggest problem number one that we went through on Sunday. Go back on my lives and you'll see. Biggest problem number two is that you don't have the capacity anyway. Then how could the patient come out of this surgery in a healthy and fit way? They can't. I don't think that the problem can be fixed. I don't think I can I'm a cardiologist. I don't think I can fix this person's heart. Right? I don't think like the heart won't function, like it won't work. Then number two is, I don't think, even if the heart did work, I don't think I have the capacity to fix the heart. How could I get a patient who's going to wake up with a healthy beating heart? I will not. So we talked about the biggest dating block, which is your lack of belief, right? Second biggest dating block is that you're not showing up as the best version of you in your dating experience. So how could you win? Okay? So folks, we are going to go through all of the dating blocks and how to resolve it in the Dating 101 Masterclass, which will be hosted on December the 14th from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. If you cannot make the Zoom, you're going to get the recordings and the slides within 24 hours. So it's still no excuse. If you really do want to change your love life, if you want to change your experience, you have to do something different. And if it's been podcasts for the last year, 2 years, 3 years since COVID, and YouTubes, and following people in the space, valuable people who actually have testimonials, who actually are in the trenches, who are actually doing the work, and you're seeing some improvement, good. For some people, that might be enough. For some people, it's not. And if you can't invest or are not willing to invest $19 to improve your dating experience, then I say lovingly and with all respect, I don't think that you're really that serious about it. That's just my opinion as someone who invests in everything to get the results that they want, including personal training, which I missed today. And hopefully my trainer doesn't see me on live. I called him. I told him I wasn't coming. I bought him lunch. I apologize. But you get my point, right? You got to do something different to get a different result. And folks, I am telling you that I don't do this work for the rings, even though I post them all the time because I love them. I don't do this work for the wedding invitations. even though I post them all the time because I love them. And I'm going to go to every single client's wedding that invites me. I don't care if it's in Alaska, right? Because I want them to know how much I appreciate them. It's not about the rings. It's not about the testimonials. It's not about the posts. I do that for y'all because that's to reel you in so that you actually listen, right? The rings, that's the candy. The committed relationship is the candy. The master classes, the coaching program is the medicine. Okay? I don't do it for that. The reason why I do what I do is because I love children. What? What's the relationship, Alison? You talking about getting your love life in order. I am a believer in a 2-parent household that is filled with love. I believe that children who are raised in a 2-parent loving household, because there's 2-parent households and the other parent ain't doing nothing, right? I believe that the best outcome for children, and this is backed by stats, this is not Alison's belief, is statistically proven that the best outcomes for children are those who come from a loving 2-parent household. So this is what they call in education backwards planning, right? Backwards planning. In backwards planning, you start with the end result. The end result is that I want a better future for my community. Everybody knows, because Whitney told us in 86, we know that the children are the future. So if I want a better outcome for my society, for my immediate community, then that means that the work starts with the children. The work don't start with y'all. The work starts with the children. How can I get the children to have a better outcome? We're talking about educationally. We're talking about their physical health. We're talking about their mental health. We're talking about their financial health, right? We're talking about their self-esteem. We're talking about their self-worth. I don't know if you guys have seen the statistics on suicide. I don't know if you guys know what's going on within our youth and their mental health. They are unstable. They need stability. And it is my belief, backed with statistical data and evidence, that that stability is best created with a loving 2-parent household. So that backwards planning. So how are we going to get the 2-parent household? We need to change our dating practices. We have to change our relational practices. We have to change our communication style. We have to change the way that we present and we function in the world together. We have to end the gender war. We only can do this if we do this together. Are y'all hearing me? Come on, somebody. This is why I do the work that I do. I love the rings. I love the weddings. I love the invitations. Every time I get a picture of an engagement ring in my DMs or in a text message or in an email, my heart drops. And I call Andrew Wellington immediately. Babe, I got another ring. Babe, I got another ring. Right? Committed relationships come up as a close second because we can't get to the ring. Right? And again, the ring is symbolic. Before anybody start on me. We can't get to the ring until we're in a committed relationship. So when I get the committed relationship text messages and DMs, I'm excited, and I send it to my group chat, and then I post it on here. And then, a little less exciting is, I had a great, amazing date. That's normally happening actively in my coaching program, The Partner You Deserve. I had a really great date. I'm looking forward to date number 2. I had a good date. I don't think we're a good match, but I'm glad I know now how to vet so that I can assess whether or not this gentleman and this young woman, because I've had 2, 3 male clients, right? So people, I can tell that they're an appropriate match or an inappropriate match. He was a nice guy, just not a good match for me. So I'm going to respectfully let him know and move on. And that's okay. That is the nature of the game. Your first date is not going to be a hit every time. It is unreasonable to have that expectation. The expectation is that your vetting process improves. You know what questions to ask. You have clarity on what you want and what you require and what you desire. It's reasonable what you require and what you desire. You have what you require and what you desire, and it's being matched appropriately, and you're happy. Okay? So again, if you are just joining the live, I'm going to end right now. I have so much work to do. It's not even, like, you can't even imagine. Not only do I have a group, which is our last session today, I'm really excited about wrapping up with them and hearing about their wins and talking about next steps. I'm also working on the slides for my Dating 101 Masterclass, which will be hosted live December the 14th from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. The recordings are available. It is a whopping $19. And if you're on here and you need help when it comes to dating, you may not be in a position to afford coaching, I can understand that. This is a tough economy. But if you telling me you ain't got $19, and I say this with full respect, and it don't have to be me, it could be somebody else, but if you need to pay up to get real results, podcasts will only get you so far, lives will only get you so far. If you ain't got $19 to invest in yourself, then you don't need to be dating. The app you need is Indeed. On that note, beautiful people, I'm going to run. I need to work on so many things. It's crazy. I'm going to leave this live up probably for the next 48 hours. Your second biggest dating block. We covered the first one on Sunday. It has been a pleasure. Make sure you check it out and click the link in my bio to access Dating 101, or you can comment or DM Dating 101 for the link. All right, folks, got to go.